Guess who's the laughter now? Baby.
What the is this meme? I swear I wake up each day and every time I open TikTok, I see Greg Heffley's dad losing his fucking mind. Why is this a meme right now? Why is Greg Heffley's schizophrenic father the biggest meme in the world right now? Why today in 2025 after the rise of the wimpy kid years ago? Today we're gonna be talking about Frank Heffley's schizophrenia. And I know you probably already know about this. You're probably experiencing the same thing. I swear to God, if I hear this one more time. After days of scrolling on TikTok bombarded with... I knew I had to say something about this. What the Frank Heffley. If Greg hadn't done enough, Frank Heffley is one of those characters you don't really notice in the movies growing up because let's face it, 10-year-old me was a lot more interested in Greg and whatever the hell this girl's name was. And years later, it becomes quite obvious that Greg isn't just the wimpy kid, but the devil. In the original 3 Wimpy Kid movies, no, The Long Haul doesn't count, Greg terrorizes his family and his friends daily. He goes out of his way to ruin everyone's lives just to benefit his own. But while the story mostly focuses on Greg and Rowley's friendship and the lore of an average 8th grade gooner, we don't really see much of the parents' lives besides a few flashbacks. Chunky cheese. In subtle flashbacks, we can see that Roderick actually terrorized his family far before Greg did. But this never ends. When Greg goes to middle school, he does more than just cause his dad pain. He actually causes his dad to lose his mind. While quite obvious in the first movie, in the opening scene, we see that Frank Heffley freaks out, scared shitless because he thinks someone is breaking in the middle of the night. But this is all Greg's fault for being in the kitchen, right? Well, Greg was only in the kitchen because of Roderick's prank. Trust me, this ties in later. Greg's father is pissed about this, but this is only the beginning. Like I said, this was the introduction of the first movie. In the sequel, Roderick rules. When the parents leave to go out of town...
And don't have anybody over this weekend. Got it?
Roderick throws a party and locks Greg in the basement.
Roderick, help! The door's closed! Roderick!
Nah, it's just me, nigga.
Oh, boo-hoo! Locked in the basement. I live in the basement! Cry, baby bitch. But Greg's dad is upset with the boys because General Grant is out of place.
What was General Grant doing on General Grant? On the thermostat.
But yet again, this would have never happened if Roderick had never thrown a party. Again, in Roderick Rules, during that same party, Greg and Roderick end up destroying a door, causing Frank and Susan Heffley to become quite outraged.
I knew that door had a lock on it! And everybody was trying to make me feel like I was losing my mind!
The furious look on his face says it all. So what does this mean? Well, actually, this means a lot of things. While Greg is still a narcissist who only cares about himself, we know that he only behaves that way because of his older brother Roderick terrorizing him. And Roderick, his older brother, becoming less and less mature with each movie, shows that Greg's father has a lot more to go through. If Frank has had to do all of Roderick's homework since middle school, followed by the terrible behavior of all 3 of his sons, and a wife who is completely oblivious...
You knew about this?
It's safe to say that this man is cooked. He probably only has a few years left until he's completely schizo. And we can see, at the end of Roderick Rules, Frank Heffley finally loses his mind.
Yeah.
Frank Heffley, watching the school talent show, tries to point out to his family a young boy roller skating, but Frank forgets to realize his family is dead. They have been dead for years, and he actually isn't even at the talent show. Frank is actually locked in solitary confinement. It's actually sad to think that we had to sit through 90 minutes of The Long Haul just because Greg and his dad couldn't get along. They caused Frank to lose his mind, thus costing the Wimpy Kid franchise. And we can see today that Frank is still not mentally okay. Check out his TikTok! Yeah. But what caused this meme to come back from the dead?
What, you think this is funny?
When was this movie not funny? The Wimpy Kid franchise has never let me down when it comes to humor. But the way the movie still applies to meme culture today is how it continues to live. Just like Shrek, people who carry the memes in their heart spread the memes culture. And while this is some sort of marketing technique to make a lifelong customer, it's still better than brain rot like, "Load bullshit. Anyways, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below, and maybe you like one of these other videos like the Shrek video or the Minecraft video or maybe the Harry Twinkle video. Like and subscribe.